All right. So, Jason, I thought we'd start with a little WWE stuff because they had some people showing up, a few new friends. Well, old friends that are new friends that are back and a new debut. So, why don't we start with some peeps coming out and getting beat up as the new Wyatt Six. And if you didn't know, that six is spelled SICK and the number six. And of course, in honor of the late Bray Wyatt, as the gang is, well, they're almost all here.
They are. Most, but not quite.
Not quite. We've got 5 of them. So Bo Dallas, of course, leading the way, portraying Uncle Howdy. And then we have other Firefly Funhouse characters in there. But it's Dexter Loomis, Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, and Nikki Cross showed up, and they show up. They laid waste to the back. Anybody that was in Gorilla or hanging around the backstage area was, well, they were beaten and bloodied. That was not good. So, but of course, the crowd's going crazy. Everybody is very excited about this as we have at least 5 members. And of course, speculation about who the last member would be. Would expect it to be Alexa Bliss when she finally does get back. But of course, you never know. Could be somebody else. Some people are even saying, well, the 6th person is the spirit of Bray Wyatt. I don't know about that. But we do have a new group here, and I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm happy. I think this is a terrific ode to Bray, and I hope everything works out. I really do. Here's the question, and I'll fire this at you, Jason. Are they gonna get it right this time? Are they gonna do the supernatural thing the right way? Or will this turn into a convoluted mess that we're going to regret putting on TV? That's what I'm worried about. Do you think that WWE is going to handle this the right way this time around?
I think they have a legitimate shot to handle it the right way. The fact that it's a whole new era, I think, with Triple H leading the way, I think that he knows what went wrong the last time, and they need to do a better job. And I really think they will do a better job on portraying it and getting that whole supernatural thing going. As far as Alexa Bliss coming back and joining them as the the missing member, I also think that's going to happen at some point. The question is just going to be when.
Yeah. I would imagine it's got to be her, but like I said, you never know. Maybe she's going to try and fight off the supernatural yearnings of the spirit of Bray Wyatt, and try to stay on the side of brightness. Hey, you never know. I mean,
yeah.
The only thing that scares me is a lot of times when you get into all the supernatural stuff in pro wrestling, it seems like a lot of times they just kind of take it too far, and they lose the whole point of it. I mean, it's been done quite a bit. We know this, and for me personally, it goes all the way back to Kevin Sullivan. Back in the Florida days, where it was him and woman and superstar Billy Graham and Mark Lewin and that little group where he scared the living bejesus out of everybody in the Florida Panhandle and up and down the state. And it was a pretty good gimmick, and Sir Oliver Humperdinck was in there too. But they kind of figured out where to let it go, and every time they've done something along the lines in WWE, it just seemed like it just ended up in a weird place that didn't make sense in the end. And, at some point when you tell this story, the story's got a beginning, and this is a good beginning, right? You've reassembled this group in the spirit of Bray. All right. So now they're going to go around. They're going to start beating people up. That who knows, but who knows where it's going to go? And what's the objective, right? Is the objective of these guys to go out and just torture every WWE superstar that they feel like they needed to? Is it to go out and win championships? Is it, is it just to kind of hang around and, hey, I'm just going to pop up everyone? What's going to be the point of the group? And then you got to get to, at some point, the end of the story, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to last forever. Eventually this thing is going to, it'll wear out, and to honor Bray properly, you want to give it a proper ending. So, I hope that, and I trust Triple H, because I think he's done a pretty good job with the storytelling for the most part. I hope that when they do this, that there's a really good plan of where they want to take it and where it's going to end at some point. That's what concerns me the most, Jason.
Yeah, it's once again, it's like you said, it's been done for a while. Some have been done right, some have been done wrong. I'm just curious as to, like you were just saying, who are they going to go after to start? You have this faction back. Factions need to battle other factions. They need to come out. Are they going to go after another faction? Are they going to try to make a name, or is it, like you said, are they just going to just go around and wreak havoc in the back? I mean, the wreaking havoc thing has been done. And the last time it was done, it wasn't done real well. So if they're going to do the wreaking havoc, there's got to be a point to it. There's got to be a reason. Are these people that they're going after for a specific reason that had at some point or another wronged Bray Wyatt? Is that going to be a reason for it, or is it just going to be, let's just keep interrupting shows left and right? Because that's not going to be good if that's what it is.
Yeah, Retribution did that.
Yes, and it was not done well.
No,
and there was a good chance they could have done Retribution well, but they chose to go a really bad direction with it, and then thankfully they just finally just killed it off and got rid of it, because that was done very poorly. Hopefully the Wyatt Sick6 is not going to be like what Retribution was.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and keep an open mind to it. I hope everything works out. And it's an interesting group of people too. You kind of had a group of misfits there. And I'm curious to see what they'll do in the ring too. I think a lot of the people that are involved in this group, very underrated as wrestlers. But then again, at the same time, most of these guys were generally mid-card wrestlers. Nikki won a championship, and obviously Eric Rowan had some great moments. But Joe Gacy was down in NXT. Dexter Lumis was an NXT person. So this is, and Bo had his moments too, but very underrated guy. I mean, to say the least. And I think he got a very raw deal in WWE. So this is going to be a fascinating dynamic just in the ring too, to see what they do. But like I said, I think it's going to get handled well, but God, let's just hope there's not a giant Jack in the Box or anything like that.
Yeah, let's definitely hope that doesn't happen. I'd be curious to see if they go after any of the other members or former members or associates of Wyatt. You've got guys like Braun Strowman.
Mm-hmm.
You've got guys, I believe, Randy Orton at one point was associated with him. You could go after these guys, and you could have a real storyline, like trying to bring them, quote unquote, over to the dark side. Not to borrow from Star Wars there, but kind of bring them over to that supernatural side. See if it's possible, or if not, it's at least the start of a storyline there. It gives them someone to go after right away, versus just the wreaking havoc.
Yeah, and it was interesting, to see Chad Gable get laid out, and CM Punk was laid out, and Trips. I mean, that was some interesting choices, but I think it was just a matter of these guys were in the way.
Yeah.
More than anything else.